Right, more gang. We've got some really sad news coming out of Stockton, California, man. There's been a mass shooting. 4 people have lost their lives and over 10 people have been hurt. There's talk of maybe 19 people being hit in this incident, and there's a whole bunch of breaking news around it that I'm going to break down for you in this video. But it's so sad. Rest in peace to everybody who lost their lives in this incident. And it sounds like even a lot of children have unfortunately passed away as a result of this tragic incident that looks pretty clearly, obviously, to be gang related, unfortunately. And it gives me no you know what I mean? It's just there's absolutely no way of making sense of this situation. I mean, it's just out of control. This ain't no sliding on your op situation. This is a kids party that got shot up. Apparently there was gang members there, and they were the targets, and a whole bunch of kids have ended up getting hit. It's absolutely out of line, man. But let's take a look at some of this news, and I'll break down some of the information that's currently circulating about this on Reddit.
We're going to continue our team coverage of this breaking news with ABC 10's Roxanne Elias. We are learning the governor's Office of Emergency Services is monitoring this evolving situation and coordinating with local law enforcement. So here's a recap of what we know at this hour. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office is saying this happened shortly before 6 p.m. Their dispatch center got reports of a shooting that occurred at the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue. This is in Stockton. They can confirm 14 people were struck by gunfire, and 4 victims have since been confirmed deceased. This is an active investigation. They're working to get information on who this suspect or suspects might be. There's no indication that they have any leads at this time. They say this is all under investigation, and as you just heard, the FBI also involved, and the governor also tweeting about this. The governor saying that they are looking at this, and that I can read it to you here, the governor's press office saying that Governor Gavin Newsom has been briefed on the horrific shooting in Stockton.
So this took place outside of like a ice cream parlor, right? It was a kid's birthday, and they're reporting that there's at least 3 children dead, and it sounds like 1 adult dead as well. Now there's a lot of advertising on this article, which is very interesting, but I'll talk about that another day. It was a child's birthday party at Stockton Banquet Hall, man. Like, that's just not where this should be going down. The deceased victims are aged 8, 9, and 14 years old, along with a 21-year-old adult. This one says 15 people were shot in the attack. Obviously, we were just hearing on the news that it was 14 people. It's just so sad. It's just unbelievable. So obviously, you've got the mainstream media reporting on this. We're seeing footage from the scenes. We're seeing people in the area talking about what's going down. Obviously, everybody's trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. People saying they heard screaming, so many sirens, they didn't go out there and look. The violence has been plaguing our city for a while. So many comments were like, it's just Stockton, but the violence shouldn't be normalized. We live here. We don't want our grandkids thinking this violence is all right. This is the state of things in Stockton, okay? This is basically how bad things have gotten. And now a lot of posts are going around on Reddit. They're trying to identify the individuals who might have been killed. Maybe they were kind of part of this group of rappers / gangsters, that have apparently been at war in Stockton for a while. People are saying MB Nell and Dougie Threes from Stockton may well be amongst those killed. Everybody's trying to work it out. There's a lot of comments, people saying I live a few minutes from the spot where this happened. Apparently 19 was shot and at least 4 died, including a 12-year-old. So apparently one of the victims was a 9-year-old girl too, which is just so messed up, man. It's just so messed up. So people saying a grown man posting about 2 dudes getting spanked at a party. Why are all these accounts so weird? I think there was a couple of posts of people going around kind of bragging about this situation. Someone said, I'm in Stockton now. It's sad they don't mention how many kids got shot and some got killed as well. I'm pretty sure the FBI is involved now. And the FBI is on the case, apparently. It says, yeah, whoever did this legit crashed out and don't care about getting caught, or they're actually effing stupid. They just did a mass shooting and killed kids and got national attention for it. Yeah, them and all of their friends going bye-bye within 3 years. I bet everything. It's just so sad. This says that account be itching to post deceased people. They literally made a story asking who got footage of XYZ. Just so fanned out. It says it's wild how many nerds will be parasocial to gang life, like that account that posted this, West Coast Gang Wars, saying they got spanked at a party. I'm not even going to mention the kids, though. Lame. You can post news and not make it overly disrespectful. That is disrespectful the way they've posted that. It says, I've got multiple confirms that MB Nell from Musty Broads and Flyboy Dougie got spanked at a party. Allegedly, it was the party of Gano from Musty Broad's daughter. That's just so sad, man. So apparently, a member of this gang called the Flyboys did pass away. This is going around. This is from San Joaquin Top Hats, which obviously the whole thing's just so morbid to even be following it like this. But it says apparently one Flyboy member has been pronounced deceased, and it wasn't Billy or Nell. Now you've got people in the comments just reiterating everything that we've already seen. It says whoever did this shooting is done for. The story's going to make national news. Really shot up a kid's party at an ice cream place. Said, yep, I can guarantee the feds already picked this case up. It's too high profile for them not to. This happened 6 minutes away from my house. The scene was insane. I've never seen that many police cars and pandemonium in my life. Among law enforcement agencies responding are the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. They're going to make an example out of whoever did this, especially with the current government's view on gang crime, okay? Whoever did this, by the grace of Satan, their set doesn't end up in federal prison by next year. They might end up getting Swiss cheese for this off the attention they brought alone. They're going to F around and get deported to we hang immigrants here, Africa, with the administration we got in office. Hey, whoever's responsible for this, bro, I don't care. Like, do whatever you want with them, man. Do whatever you want with them. Send them wherever you got to send them, man. El Salvador, Rwanda, just see you later, buddy. Like, there ain't no sympathy for this. People saying, who the hell shoots up a child's birthday party? Gang members do, all right? People saying this is some heinous shit, even by gang standards. Not that it's ever happened, but this is not normal gang stuff. People saying no difference in this, shooting up a house, funeral, or park in broad daylight, or getting down anywhere that's busy with civilians. People saying not even no police shit, but I really hope they get their ass caught. Shooting up a kid's party, bro, like what beef is that serious? This ain't even gangbanging. This is just evil. What the F? Sick, demonic people out here. Whoever is smoking innocent kids like that deserves the needle, and with this administration, they very well may get it. Saying they'll use this as an excuse to flood more areas across the country with National Guard checkpoints and maybe even potential red flag laws. And at the end of the day, none of that will fix anything. People saying, I don't care who done it. Whoever shot that up lost all G points in the hood with me. 4 people died and they were all children. Apparently 2 were adults, apparently 3 kids, 1 adult. We're not 100% sure at this stage, okay? But 4 people did lose their lives. Now, people on Reddit have been pointing out even further that, yes, the FBI were on the scene already. The FBI will be taking this this case. People saying MB Nell is the person that got hit. We don't know that for sure. But essentially there's posts around this going around, okay? People saying FBI on the scene. Clowns, knock it off. I mean, people are disliking that, but look, FBI, they're going to cook everybody involved in this. Now, somebody on Reddit was explaining North Cali politics in the streets in the aftermath of this, and there were a lot of comments that gave a lot of backstories. Someone said, as an LA dude, can somebody explain Stockton or up North Cali politics? Are these cliques or gangs getting into it? I've seen some stuff that said Musty Boys, is that a crew? Seems like Stockton politics are its own world. The story just made national news, and the names of these gangs and cliques keep on popping up. LA gangs being the same name since the 70s and 80s. Seems like dudes are just making stuff up there in Northern Cali, though. People saying, nah, MB stands for the Muddy Boys Crips, but that blogger got beef with them, so he calls them the Musty Broads and adds gay in their members' names. Damn, I didn't know that. When I was reading Musty Broads, I was thinking, okay, that's their name. There must be some history behind that. But apparently that blogger got beef with them, and he's disrespecting the guys this happened to. Now, that's out of line, too. I'm not going to lie. That's so out of line. People saying Sacramento and Stockton got similar politics in the sense they're a hybrid of Bay Area hood, and clique politics, and LA gang politics. Stockton has Crips and Bloods, but that's more in jail, because on the streets, they will be more on the hood stuff, and each hood functions differently. Some are damn near all Asian and all black. Some are more mixed. A lot of them share their hoods with Norteños who have their own politics. To keep it real, it's very confusing and messy as F. You also got ones that are tied into Oakland politics, and that goes for both Stockton and Sacramento. It says Sacramento and Stockton are also the 2 cities in California where Asian or black on black or Asian gang violence is normalized, and those 2 races heavily mingle with each other. A lot of gangs out there have a lot of both races or a flat out Asian and black. It says up north cliques and hoods were being made up to the late 2000s. MB stands for Muddy Boys. They're Asian Crips. They're new generation true Pinoy Crips that started in the early 90s. A lot of hoods been around since the 70s and 90s, but a lot haven't as well, like EBK J-Bo's hoods, Nightingale, started in the early 80s. Most Blood and Crip hoods started in the 90s or earlier. Lots of cliques that started post-90s, though, included a lot of tag bangers. Then you got Nortes, who kill each other a lot. Your last line cracks me up because at one point these hoods was some shit that they made up. Then they got history over time. There were tagger cliques in Stockton called H20, hard to obtain. Now they're a Norte hood, and they started in the mid-2000s. People saying, dudes say LA politics doesn't make sense until you try explaining up north. Just Sacramento and Stockton is confusing enough. Don't get me started on the rest of the North or the Bay Area specifically. Some people are saying it's not that complicated. It's honestly just Crips and Bloods going at it. People saying, okay, so it's basically cliques and crews within some of these hoods who are originally Bloods, Crips, or Nortes. People saying that's pretty much it in simpler terms. People saying think more like Oakland. Neighborhoods adopt varying letters and names. People are downvoting that. People saying MB got hella beef from Conway to EBK, Louis Park, Verde Park. It could be any of those hoods that did it. Now, a lot of people are saying that these gangs, they're possibly going to all be dead by tomorrow, or at least locked up. EBK, Louis Park Bloods, and the Fly Boys will be dead gangs by tomorrow. The RICO is on the way. Anybody spraying up kids' birthday parties deserves the hell that's going to raid down on them. People saying, source, Poetic Flacco. Shout out Flacco, man. People saying, good, protect the kids. This is one of those times where it's like, it's actually quite surprising, but it's like a lot of people that are in these gang subreddits, like they're keeping it real and saying, bro, fuck that. Like, we do not condone this. It's not cool. People saying, I hope they crack down on the violence and crime. It's been unbearable. I see the good in Stockton. There is so much untapped potential. This city could be one of the greats if things were on the right path. These children deserve better. People saying, good. MS think they're tough. All they do is shoot up houses and parties and cars, always hitting innocent civilians. Nobody walking down their actual targets. It's pussy stuff. I mean, the Stockton boys have multiple viral walkdowns. This was probably someone trying to show out for EBK because they are currently eating. Saying as somebody being arrested. This doesn't seem related. That's not related. Just a sad situation, man. Now, there were videos going around of the cops locking off different hoods in the area. They're saying the cops were locking off Louis Park. This is Bounce Back Meek's hood right after the shooting. They're saying it could be possibly related. And they're saying they towed away an SUV that had bullet holes in it. So clearly the cops are on it, all right? And apparently there's already been an arrest. It's unclear exactly how connected it is, whether it's the exact people that did it. But this is breaking news. It says 4 people arrested on conspiracy and weapons charges shortly after the mass shooting in Stockton. It says police really be knowing exactly what's going on. They know where to go if they really want you. People saying it's not that hard in Stockton. It's small and all these guys write songs telling on themselves. They're saying the whole gang is going to get hanged because of this. They could have just waited for whoever they were looking for to leave and caught them later. But instead, these dumbasses choose to shoot up a kid's party. People saying, well, that's beef, though. Well, now they're cooked over some BS. Bunch of stakes up in this bitch. Everybody's cooked for sure. And then this is a post that somebody made. This is the street where the shootings took place. It was all still locked down. Nobody can go down there. People saying Bounce Back Meek posted a bottle of Henny on his story, dissing right after it happened, then deleted it. People saying Pyru Briss posted DMs between him and Dougie Threes and MB Nell. He also said something, we from Devil's Island, we don't believe in the Lord. These guys are really some Satan worshipping gangbangers. It's crazy. It says they confirm one of the victims as Norte. Whoever did it going to be at war with everyone now, bro. They're saying whatever hood did this is going to go extinct between the local PD and the feds and the governor's office. Forget about it. You're going to see conspiracy charges on dudes that just claimed this gang. As they should be. 3 kids are gone. People saying it's so funny. This is a gangbanging sub. Most of the dead people talked about on this sub are children, but this one is too far. Homie over here clutching his pearls like, oh my God, the children, ignoring all the other dead children. Keep that same energy every time a kid is killed instead of this performative outrage. People saying, bruh, it was an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old among the victims. That's not the same shit as these 15-year-olds that get shot. People saying, why not? Why are some children's lives more valuable than the other children's lives? Kind of makes sense. I get what they're saying. People saying RIP to whatever hood they're from. People saying that's quick. Just goes to show all of these murders and shootings can be solved. They only solve them, though, when there's political pressure like this. FBG Duck in the rich shopping area. Lil Pab in another high-end shopping district. Cops should be clearing around 99% of murders in 2025, but if it doesn't make national news, cops will just be like, I don't care. People saying those could be people who were shooting back or just caught on camera with guns and not the sliders, but more arrests to come for sure. Apparently, Louis Park is into it with MB Fly. But people say they don't know what this is all about. Apparently Louis Park is Bounce Back Meek and Javon 2900's hood. They've been messing with MB Nell's hood and Stupid Young for a minute. Now, there was an interesting post on the situation going around on X. So this is quite an interesting post that I thought was actually worth reading. This says, there was a mass shooting in Stockton, California last night where 14 people were shot, 4 of whom died. A bunch of us salty cops were discussing it in a group text last night. We all immediately assumed the exact same thing, gang shooting. This morning, reading the propaganda, news reports about the shooting, our assumptions were confirmed. The victims included both children and adults, said Heather Brent, a spokesperson for the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. Early indications suggest Early indications suggest this may have been a targeted incident, Brent said during a news conference at the scene. Targeted incident, that is politically correct speak for gang shooting. Meanwhile, gun violence is being blamed, and all the politicians who have allowed this to happen are pretending like it was the guns and not the laws they passed that are to blame. Laws making it illegal to maintain gang databases. Laws that reclassified violent crimes as non-violent crimes. Laws that require cashless bail. Laws that reduce sentences for violent criminals, laws that have created the current catch and release system. All of those laws were crafted and passed by the same people decrying gun violence right now in the state with the longest standing and strictest set of gun laws in the nation. Totally unsurprising to anyone with a sliver of a functioning brain is the fact that criminals are not hindered by the gun laws that make it extremely difficult for law-abiding people to get a gun. Pro tip, it's not the gun laws that are lacking, it's the will to enforce laws against violent criminals that need reinforcing. Gun laws are the solution offered by politicians to appease the simple-minded. This type of violent attack will continue until society decides to address the actual problem, just like we did back in the 1990s. Okay, it's an interesting, very interesting post. I do hate X. I'm not going to lie, I do actually hate X. But, I think there is actually some good points to be made just as far as like, look, I'm not a massive gun nut. I've touched guns a couple times in my life. But like, clearly, this is a gang problem. And everybody knows that I report on gangs, but at the end of the day, bro, like, we're going to have to sort this out. Now, there was a video that was dropped by Stay Safe World, essentially claiming to explain the entire beef between MB Nell and Dougie Threes getting hit up in this Stockton party. So I wanted to just check this video out and react to it with you guys and just see if there's any interesting backstory here, because I don't know a whole lot about this beef. And now that we've got all the context, it'd be worth us kind of working this out and learning about this. So let's check this out and shout out to Stay Safe World.
In order to understand how things got this crazy, where some creative player crash outs had to pull up and air out a whole party for a kid, you got to understand how unhinged two of the main gangs in the area are between EBK and Fly Boys, aka Mud Boys. The Northern California drill scene is where serial killers go to make music. Imagine getting killed by a nigga and your diss track only gets 100K views. This is real life. The Stockton, California rap scene is the closest thing to giving Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, or Richard Ramirez a mic, and some of the hardest West Coast beats that have ever been made. This city's not even top 10 in state population, but has been #1 for the whole state in murder since 2010. While there's little hope in the armpit of California, somehow, someway, in the midst of the violence,
have released new images of suspects from a homicide investigation accused of murder,
the death, and the destruction. Fans became captivated with one group that made waves all throughout the state, EBK, a clique of Nightingale Bloods from Southeast Stockton that is home to legends in the California drill scene like Young Slowby, EBK Young Jock, and the face of California rap right now, EBK J-Bo. J-Bo was supposed to have a breakout year, being featured on NBA YoungBoys tour and becoming the first XXL freshman to record his cypher in jail. It was supposed to be a movie, however the streets would catch up and ruin his motion altogether. This group literally took its name to heart and is allegedly responsible for putting belt to ass against the whole city, and has come.
So J-Bo, man, people are obsessed with J-Bo in California, I swear. Like, all people want to talk to me about is J-Bo. And I rock with J-Bo, I like his music, I did a video on him on this channel quite a while ago, but like, bruh, like, people are obsessed with this guy, and it sounds like he was just having some motion and he kind of threw it all away. It's very, very unfortunate, man. And I think he's facing, what is it, murder for hire charges right now? And like, he was supposed to be on tour with YoungBoy. Like, it's facts, man. Like, he definitely blew a big opportunity there.
With consequences. To make it out of a place like Stockton is not easy. When facing one of the largest gang takedowns in California history,
I can tell you that this gang takedown that they just had is not only helping to prevent crimes that are just about to happen, but it's also helping to solve the ones that already occurred. Now, you mentioned it, what they took off the streets. So let me show you, and you can see them right there. 58 guns, 10 of them assault rifles, another 12 of those were ghost guns.
Members like Slowby and EBK Osama getting gunned down, to alleged shooters like EBK Lil Play fighting life for taking out one of the next big rappers in the city. The story behind the war in Stockton is one of the craziest that I've ever seen in America. Stockton, California is the forgotten city of California. Tucked in the San Joaquin Valley, it was once an essential place for farming and workers looking for places to live so they could commute to close by cities of Sacramento or the Bay Area. However, the 2008 housing crisis hit the city hard like many cities in inland California. Many became victims of predatory loans and the eventual foreclosures, which left poverty to run rampant. With people unable to pay taxes to the local government, even the city of Stockton was forced to go bankrupt in 2012 after running a deficit of $26 million. Like, bro, imagine being broke and you living in the literal brokest major city in America. It's not going to end well. This abject poverty affected Black and Latino communities the most, and this led to many people joining gangs to survive and try to run up some bread when legal avenues ran out. One of these gangs.
All right, I'm going to skip past because look, a lot of you guys know about J-Bo, right? But I want to hear about the guys that actually are involved in this incident.
While EBK was becoming the face of Stockton rap, there were other cliques from the South that were also coming up in the rap scene, some of which even had close ties to members of EBK. One of those cliques was home to rapper MB Nell. MB Nell, originally born to Filipino immigrants in the South Stockton area in the 8th Street section, became active in the streets from birth, having relatives who were banging Asian Crip gangs. With no opportunities present at the time, he and his homies started gangbanging as a means to survive and created their own clique called Mud Boys. MB Nell has close ties to another infamous Crip set in the area called Fly Boys, with most notable rappers Jay Black, who was the original face of their side before his unfortunate passing, and Bands, who's the current face, who pretty much dropped the most incriminating no-jumper interview ever.
Got my face?
Trophy. Oh, on the other side, yeah.
What did I say?
2,900K.
What is it? What is the top?
Above that, it's got a W.
With what in it?
It's like a W with Bullet holes?
How many?
3?
Okay. They talking
and
about
was arrested shortly after for a wild murder. Originally, the Fly Boys and EBK members from 2100 Nightingale were pretty close. The older members had a shared history, so at one point back in the day, these two sides were just one.
from Mariposa to HG, bro. Just break down a little history, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let my brother do it.
Well, basically, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm gonna fly in here, cause I'm gonna let Cut do it.
Like I said, like I said, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it was all one. We niggas be out there getting money, all the shit, you feel me? And then, like you said, like, you know, like how it happens. Older niggas go to jail, you know, niggas disappear, the structure get lost, you feel me? So, and then that's when it just picks up from there. It could be anybody. It could be a little 14-year-old nigga when did this and that. Now he the one making the shots. And then he have all these niggas under him.
Really?
Yeah, like
It's actually like that. Like 14-year-old kid kills a couple people, and then all of a sudden everybody else
Yeah,
like,
all killed a couple people.
However, a 2021 shooting of a beloved Fly Boys member who had ties to Nightingale would apparently launch an all-out war that would claim the lives of many. It would apparently kick off with the death of beloved member Jay Jonah on January 15, 2021. Stockton police responded to a report at 5:36 p.m. of Thursday shots fired in the area of the 7th Street and Nightingale Avenue. When officers arrived, they located a crime scene and learned a gunshot victim was transported to a hospital by a private party. The 20-year-old victim died a short time later at the hospital. This marked a major split within both groups as EBK J-Bo would go on to diss JJ on many records, most notably on the song Casualty with Lil Ride, where he'd say, Mr. Fly K, since 17, I've been on them niggas. Or mix Jay Jonah with a black, that's real Zaza. Yeah, it's safe to say if you're
So clearly, right, the beef between EBK J-Bo's crew and, you know, basically like these groups, you know, the Fly Boys, it's out of control, right? And it's just so sad to see that it's really got to this. Like, for it to actually have gotten to this point, it's just like, it's just so sad to see. Now, look, I don't know if I want to watch this entire video. I'm going to go away and do my own research on this situation, and there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff that basically is going to come off the back of this, and I'll keep you guys updated on any of the stuff to do with this situation. But it's just really sad to know what's going on up there in Stockton, man. And, you know, for the kids that have been affected by this, you know, it's just prayers up for the man. You know, I don't feel like this goes too far. You know, really, like, I don't condone any of the gang violence. All the stuff that I cover in my videos, you know, I'm documenting the history. I'm not condoning it. I don't think any of it's cool. And low key, a lot of these rappers that we all know and love should be in jail. I'm sorry, it's true. All right, people get mad when I say Lil Durk's cooked, but like, if Lil Durk really organized a murder for hire that killed an innocent man that had nothing to do with the beef, wasn't even there when King Von died, bro, you need to be in jail for life. And whoever did this, it's the same shit. Whether it's a kid or a grown man who's Quando's cousin who ain't have nothing to do with nothing, y'all need to be in jail. Period. I'm sorry. We love the music. You need to be in jail. We can't have innocent people. Oh, we was trying to slide. We was trying to slide. Bro, dead that, man. It's embarrassing. But anyway, man, I'll keep you guys updated on this situation. Right now, the facts are a little bit shaky, but I'm going to be digging into everything a lot more deeply going forward, and I will keep you guys updated on everything that's going on, man. Thank you for watching this update, and I'll catch you in the next video, gang. Peace.